Achievers Platform.
Achievers Platform.
Wow! Are you not seeing a political ambition and you want to showcase your achievements and leadership qualities?
The People's Radio Station, Radio Nigeria Atlant FM, Owerri, introduces Achievers Platform, a 30-minute discussion program every Thursday at
3:30 p.m. For inquiries, call Dave now on 0803 74L 5589
or Tony on 0806 930 3745.
Achievers Platform, your sure gateway to the heart of the electorate.
Good afternoon, dear listener, and welcome to this maiden edition of our Personality Achievers program on Radio Nigeria, Atlant FM Owerri. On this program, we showcase great men and women who have paid their dues in their chosen profession. And today, we're lucky enough to have on the platform a seasoned public health specialist who has made a mark in the promotion of the health of our people and indeed the overall development of our state, Imo. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to welcome on the platform Dr. Osondu. Doc, it's good to have you.
Thank you.
Good. My name is Anthony Ozo. I am moderating. We shall have time to equally react to few text messages we have from our fans. Doc, the first thing first, who is Dr. Osondu?
I'm Dr. Osondu from Ludahana, MBAISE. Until recently, I've been based in the United States of America. But I'm here now because I'll be running for the governorship of Imo State through Labour Party. So generally, I have been the president of MBAISE USA for the past 4 years, and we've been coming on medical mission every year to MBAISE and Owerri, taking care of our people who cannot afford health care. And generally, I was a teacher in the high school. I taught at Okwata Secondary School and Ebu Girls Secondary School in the 80s. I graduated from University of Ife in 1983. I read English language. I taught English language and literature and oral English in Okwata Secondary School and Ebu Girls Secondary School. I used to be the Dean of Studies of Ebu Girls for 2 years in those days. I used to be also a WAEC examiner. But after some time, I retired from teaching voluntarily, and then I went to Lagos, where I worked with Candid Investment. It's an investment company where we still stock as well as do contract work. I was with them for 4 years, and then I traveled to United States of America. When I got to United States of America, I did a lot of menial jobs to get started, but eventually I went into the nursing field. First of all, I did the CNA, I did LVN, which are lower levels of nursing, before I did my registered nursing certification, then did my BSN. After doing my BSN, I also went to Kaplan University and did legal nurse consulting before I went back to Walden and became an adult gerontology nurse practitioner with a master's degree, and finally did my doctoral degree in nursing practice in Walden University as well. So I've worked in diverse areas of human endeavor. Apart from the teaching experience and business in Lagos, I was also a teacher in the United States of America. But that I did substitute teaching because at that time I was also a student. I did some tutoring in college, in Dodge City College in Kansas, before I did my BSN in Fort Hays State University. So it has been a lot of experience. I did traveling nursing assignment in California for 2 years, and eventually I moved back to Dallas. And in Dallas, I started my own business. It's called Cordial Care Home Health Services. So I'm a nurse entrepreneur till recently. Lately, since I became a nurse practitioner, adult gerontology nurse practitioner, I'm trying to start a clinic so that I can function whether I'm there or not. So that is in process. So far, that's
so good indeed. That's quite an intimidating credentials there, and that you've really come a pretty long way. So, Doc, are you married?
Yes, I'm married with 4 children, and my family is in Texas, in Dallas area of Texas.
So how happy is your marriage?
I'm happily married with my family. They are doing very well.
Okay. So our audience would like to have an insight into your academic history. You've given us part of it in the course of the response to the first question I put across. But if there's anything that you feel is missing, your academic history, your primary education, secondary education, and what have you?
Yes. Well, I went to the seminary. I was to be a priest.
Okay.
Well, that didn't happen. I concluded my secondary school in Obisi High School before I went to University of Ife, and I graduated from University of Ife. So right now I was at University of Ife. I was also 40th State University. I was in Kaplan University and then Walden University. So these are all the universities I've had all my degrees and certifications.
That's great. That's great indeed. Dr. Osondu, what could one say is your philosophy of life?
Yes, I don't like to see people suffer, and that has been what has really directed my life and activities, and that's what has brought me into public service. I like to borrow the words of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, to restore the dignity of man. I don't like, for instance, when I was doing traveling nursing in California, I would treat a patient and I'll see a patient get some treatment and get well. And I will remember that that same ailment was what killed somebody in my village. And it will touch me and say, if I knew what I know now, that fellow would not have died. And I'll see another patient that gets his chronic disease managed very well, and he lives almost as long as God wants him to live. And somebody else dying after a few years of chronic disease in my community. And at that time I would say, if I knew what I know now, that person would not have died. So that's what made me one day collect medications from doctors that are working with us in the same hospital, went to Bayer International and got glucometers, carried 11 suitcases and came to my village and organized free health care. Some doctors like Dr. Reggie Ike and Dr. Wachuku from Oru came and joined me, and we helped our people. And I continued to do that every year till I started working with MBAISE USA. And therefore I was not doing it myself alone. I was now doing it in conjunction with MBAISE USA. So I don't like to do nothing when people are suffering. I cannot just fold my hands and do nothing. So that's who I am. So even the politics that I'm going to be involved with very soon is out of passion that things are not going the way they're supposed to be going. Somebody is blocking the full process of governance, or things are not happening, and so people are folding their hands, and it is business as usual. So that's why I believe that I'll make a difference if I even go into politics. So that's who I am, and I don't think I will change. Well,
that's a very great one there, having empathy for your fellow human beings. So, you've given us a little hint into my next question, but then I must ask it so that you go into details. You are a specialist in the area of health. Why venture into politics?
Yes, even before I became the president of MBAISE USA, I came to the first medical mission as director of nursing, the second one as director of nursing. By the third time, I had begun to understand that it is not just enough to do your profession. somebody that has no idea can influence the way you do what you do for your people. And he doesn't know any better. And therefore, if you want something well done, do it yourself. So if you are at the helm of affairs, you can influence so many other things to go the right direction. So why don't you do it yourself? So that's how I decided to venture into politics. I know that as a practitioner, I could be helping one village every time I come home. But if I'm a governor, I will help so many, and I will attract a lot of people, volunteers, because I'm already in it, to do these things statewide. So you limit yourself if you want to help your people, if you just decide that let me leave governance alone and do just one little thing. And if you see that I come from experience from diverse areas of human endeavor, used to be a teacher, now a businessman, now into healthcare. I also used to do telemarketing for Campo USA in those days when I came to the United States. So a little bit of everything. So who would do this job better than somebody who has these ideas? I know there are some that are politicians, some that are businessmen. If you're a businessman, you manage Ministry of Industry. If you're a politician, maybe you go into information. But if you have diverse ideas, you have a little bit of everything, ideas, and you can manage it. And that's what I've done with MBAISE. That's why he's very renowned today, because I know how to delegate. I select the right people for the right job, and I've done it, and I've done it very well. And I don't believe I should leave it to somebody else.
That's good. That's good. Having joined politics, our audience would like to know your political platform. To which party do you belong?
Yes, I belong to Labour Party, and as a matter of fact, I just came back from Abuja. I saw the national chairman. I fulfilled all the requirements to run for the position of governorship of Imo State under Labour. So I'm not joking when I said I'm coming out for politics. It might be difficult, it might be hard, because I'm not a money bag, and money appears to influence everything here. But I believe our people, their back is on the wall right now. They have to fight back. They have to really come out and change the way they do things, because it's not going to be business as usual.
So why Labour Party? There are bigger parties.
Yeah, Labour Party is... I told you I was a teacher.
Yeah.
And I've been a laborer all my life.
Okay.
So where else can I go? That's where my people are. That's where the suffering masses whose salaries are not being paid. They're on that level. And in good conscience, I cannot go to some parties that have been marginalizing our people over this period. I'm humanitarian in my outlook, and I want to see my people where they are.
And in practice too.
And in practice, yes. All the labor leaders, they should all come together. Let's let them take what is theirs. Let's make sure that they are paid before anything else.
Good.
Enough is enough.
Enough is indeed enough. That's Comrade Dr. Osondu. Now, the program is still Achievers Platform. On this platform, we showcase personalities who have indeed influenced the lives of people positively. And today on the hot seat, I have Dr. Osondu. Doc, leadership has been fingered as one greatest challenge facing Nigeria and Imo State. And unfortunately, there are more than 180 million people in Nigeria. Yet we are lacking good leaders. Why that?
To be honest, it's something that people sit back and ask why. If you go to advanced countries and see that every country is moving forward and that our own country is moving backward, it really hurts, honestly. And I think we have learned things the wrong way over this period of time. When the white people were here, they taught us some discipline. And we carried on. The ministries we are doing well till their influence began to wane to this point where we're now doing things their own way, which is not the right way. Lack of discipline, lack of accountability, and the wrong culture is pervasive right now, that people are doing things the wrong way. And that's why we believe that for some of us who have been exposed to culture where things are done and done right, we've been part of the system. We've done exactly what makes that environment okay. The Igbos are contributing effectively in the society of America, making things happen. How is it that when we come home, then we do things differently? It's because So if we emphasize the wrong thing and get our priorities right, our people will be fine. If you get a leader that all he has been exposed is how to take people's money, how to ride around with serene and marginalized people, what does he know better? He doesn't know any better. So that's why we need to critically at individuals before we can select them as our leaders. Many are called, but few are chosen. Only few people have this heart, I'm telling you. We don't want the best politician. We don't want the best businessman. We want a governor with a heart. A governor for is the Igbo parlance. Not somebody that believes that it doesn't matter. If you drive your car across a road and see a heap of trash, it doesn't touch you. What it touches me. I don't. Who are living in this heap? Can't we do better? If you have lived in a society where you cannot throw anything out from the window, and you come to Nigeria and see people doing it, it hurts you. So why don't we, for the first time, look at individuals and their profile, where they come from, what is their makeup, and try to put them into position of authority, and see whether they will lead our people and introduce new culture, because what we have now is different from what it is supposed to be. So it's a question of culture of bad leadership. That's what we have here. And let's get people who can change it.
Thank you very much. Dr. Osondu is here to bring something new on the table. And that's what I want to ask you right now. You've been a manager of prisons over the years. You've lived in the United States of America, a developed and civilized society for many years now. So what are you really going to bring new in leadership, as me are given the opportunity to lead Imo State?
I don't want noisemakers as leaders in our country. Let's have people that are mellow and methodical. Leadership is not fight. It's not fight. We can have people who are there to do just what they came in to do, who will select the best for the different positions, not because of money or influence. I want to be a leader that will not frustrate our people or put them into bondage. Allow the freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Allow the 3 tiers of government to function effectively. Let the House of Assemblies not come to shake me with 2 hands, because they are the legislators. Let the judiciary function effectively. And if I'm convicted, I should also be first the law. I don't want a free-for-all kind of system where the governor can influence the legislative body or the judiciary. There should be check and balances. That's why those 3 tiers of government are set up. I should allow them to function. They should have their own in integrity and dignity. And when I address them with respect. And you shouldn't go about destroying people's property and you don't pay them compensation. It doesn't happen even in America. There must be some form of compensation you pay them. And you must be sure that wherever you are moving them must be ready. And they would have agreed with a meeting with you. And whatever is the compensation, pay to them before you move them. That's why if I'm governor of the state today, I'll pay compensation for all those things that we are destroyed. That's me. I don't like to have human suffering. So with this in mind, you understand that I cannot mismanage the allocation of the people. This money must get to them.
Good.
I must cut the cost of governance to the barest minimum. That's what I'm standing for, even if I don't earn any salary. It's not about me. I'm serious about it.
Good. Thank you very much. I have text messages sent in here by fans of this program. Helen, who texted in from Owerri, is asking, Doc, how are you going to navigate through the crude politics in our country, bearing in mind you've been in a civilized society for years?
Yes. Well, I've been in the United States for about 18 years. And the rest of the years I was in Nigeria. So I know what the system is like, and I know that it could be better, and I'm not afraid of anybody. I must do the right thing, and I'm sincere and honest. Let the chips fall where it may. I must make sure that this state is an exemplary state going forward. I understand that people have told me about how dangerous it is. Like Julius Caesar said, danger knows that I'm more dangerous than he. I'm not afraid of anybody. I must do this. If I live my life doing it, so be it.
You will not.
And so that's my conviction. And enough is enough. Somebody has to do this sacrifice, and I believe I'll do it.
Amen. Okay, this one is from Ambrose, and he writes, do you have a godfather? If you do, who is he? It's very funny, right?
I don't really have a godfather in that sense of it. I know I appreciate leaders who have done well, and I have lately been close to some leaders just to hear them out and see the direction they think Nigeria is going to go, to see whether I fit into that situation. I was with OBJ about 3 weeks ago, and while we were discussing, he was talking about Grand Alliance. Oh, good. But usually I'll be part of it if Labour Party will be allowed to play a prominent role, or to make sure
in the alliance.
In the alliance.
Okay.
And I believe things will work out well. But all we should understand is that enough is enough. I don't want to have a godfather that is going to tell me what to do in the government of Imo State and take me in the wrong direction. That godfather better stay away from me.
Okay.
If you are just going to support my campaign, support it without any preconditions. Because I'll select the right people for the right job. That's what I stand. I want to be transparent and honest with the leadership of Imo State, and for the first time change the hand of the clock and let people understand that it doesn't have to be this way. It could be this way. I'm not going to talk too much. I will just make sure that things are effective and functioning, and all the ministries are functioning very well, even development in all the ministries. Every ministry that is redundant, we will take that ministry away, but all the ministries must function very well. The commissioners must be able to award some contracts. It's not me being the governor doing all these things. These things should work the way it's supposed to work.
Heaven helps those who help themselves. People that make up this state must have something to do to ensure that good leadership is enthroned.
Yes, what I will advise them to do is, please let them shun money for elections, because if they commit with taking money from people, they select the wrong people. And they have done this for a long time, and they are getting a very bad result. Let them change. You don't have to mortgage the future of your state by taking 1,000 or a cup of salt or a cup of rice. Make sure you select the right people for this job. Let them think deeply before they make a selection. And when you vote, you protect your vote. Don't vote and go home and believe that your vote counts. Make sure you have ear on the ground, you have people monitoring what is going on, because in Igbo, because otherwise we understand that change is difficult for people. Many people will not want the change, and they will fight to keep the status quo. But it is you, the voter, that will determine where the state should go. And don't mince words about it.
Thank you very much for those words of wisdom. I have been with Dr. Osondu, a gubernatorial aspirant under Labour Party. Once again, thank you for coming on this program.
Well, thank you.
I equally thank our audience for being part of it. You can always call Dave on 080-3740-5589 or Tony on 080-693-03745 to book a place on Achievers platform. My thanks equally go to my colleague Anthony Anyang for facilitating this, and to my executive producer Basil Ozoma. Anthony Ozo is my name. Bye for now.
Achievers platform.
Achievers platform.
Wow! Are you not seeing a political ambition and you want to showcase your achievements and leadership qualities?
The People's Radio Station, Radio Nigeria Atlan FM, Owerri, introduces Achievers Platform, a 30-minute discussion program every Thursday at
3:30 p.m. For inquiries, call Dave now on 0803 740 5589
or Tony on 0806 930 3745.
Achievers platform, your sure gateway to the heart of the electorate.